Rocks and plants. The consciousness incorporated into any type of containment, be it a rock, a plant, an animal, a human, becomes differently defined in itself. This is where the rocks and plants come in. We were building the different atoms that would spin and react to other atoms. You put two of these atoms together and they are going to attract or repel each other. We started with little things like rocks. The consciousness within a rock has an entirely different construct than it does when it is in any other containment. It has a different character than all of the other types of containments, including you. You'll say, well, what does consciousness do in a rock? Consciousness in a rock animates the rock, but the motion is so slow that it is not perceived. You'll say, I've never seen a rock move. A rock that is in what you would call your fault lines has the ability to move very definitely. You take two pieces of rock from a fault line, take them into a room and put them on a table. Then as you begin to move them closer together just a little bit at a time, when they get just so close, they will attract and cling to each other, or do the opposite and repel each other. That's what happens in your fault lines. What happens to rocks that aren't in fault lines? John found an article for us in the Weatherwise magazine, January/February 2003 by Ed Derrick, titled, The Moving Rocks of Death Valley. It was a big article, so we took just part of it to quote here. In Death Valley, California, there are moving rocks. Some as heavy as 700 pounds that move across the FL at desert, leaving trails behind them. They have watched these rocks for about 90 years and no one has seen one move. They are in a dry, oval lake bed called Racetrack Playa. Long studies have shown these rocks move mostly SW to NE, but some move N to S. Some go west. Many make zigzag paths and some even make complete circles. There seems to be no pattern to their movement in relation to one another in regard to size, shape, composition, weight, or type of motion. They travel, leaving erratic trails in the hard mud behind them, some hundreds of yards long. There are 9 other known moving rock sites in Nevada and California. There may be numerous others in other countries. Could the rocks be just exploring their environment just as you do? After all, they contain a form of ever-expanding awareness just like you, the plants, animals, fish and birds. The plants were developed by the Creator core selves as another new expression in physicality. They were developed along the same line as every other physical expression. They were fascinating because they began to take on a whole different type of expression. Plants needed some stability because they were so fragile. They need to be fed. The plants needed a form of nutrition and stability to maintain their energy construct. We noticed there was an attraction of the plants to the rocks, so we left them with the rocks, what you would call sand, and that is how they began to change and adapt to their new environment. The plants moved and danced in beautiful motion, and it was fascinating to observe. These plants, rocks and minerals soon covered your whole planet. This is what the story in your holy books is trying to explain. The beautiful Garden of Eden, which was not a garden, but a whole planetary environment.